And now for more on the growing divide between Avigdor Lieberman and Prime Minister Netanyahu, we have political analyst Zohar Tal and Naphtali Bensimon, a journalist and member of the Likud party. Thank you both very much for coming in.
Thank you.
So Zohar, I'll actually start with you today.
Yeah.
When did this change, you could say, from right-wing to centrist or even allegedly left-wing happen for Lieberman?
It's amazing because we've known Lieberman for almost around 2 decades now, and he was always driven actually by public opinion polls. He wasn't really ever a right-winger. So we've seen shifts all over the last 2 decades, more right, less right, more civil and secular agenda and less secular agenda when it was convenient to him. And now it is all climaxing into these elections.
So is his populism, is it disingenuous, is it negative, or is it really, is he being a good politician and listening to his electorate?
Well, I wouldn't give it a grade of good or bad, but this is what he does. By doing so, he was able to maneuver himself into a position in which he will actually be the one to decide what would be the next government. It is possible, even though he denied it, it is possible that he will want a rotation on the role of prime minister after the next elections, when government is being formed.
So Naphtali, let's bring you into the conversation here. Is such a thing possible that Avigdor Lieberman might actually achieve kind of a rotating premiership with Netanyahu or whoever becomes premier?
No, he's a great player. He doesn't mean anything that he said.
So you think he is disingenuous? You think he doesn't mean what he says? He's just
is just a brilliant politician who knows how to play in a very fragile places of Prime Minister Netanyahu, and this is his main agenda: how to put Netanyahu crazy from him. So, and his success, because we are talking from the morning to the night about one person, Avigdor Lieberman. This is what he wanted to achieve, that the whole political agenda is about Lieberman. Lieberman, and Netanyahu say Lieberman many times, and this is a proof that we are not talking about, he has an agenda, and he's from the right, that's for sure, he's not from the left. Lieberman is not from the left. We can say 1,000 times that he's...
So he's not really just flip-flopping completely.
He's just a great player, and he wants to play a key role, and his main agenda is a united government. This is an agenda. So we can accept it or not, this is an agenda.
So, but again, we just spoke about his kingmaker status being that his party looks like it will be necessary to form coalition no matter what. So do you see him achieving his agenda of a unity government?
I believe if he reach 10 mandates, for sure he is the key player of the next forming government. But it's not. Yes, he can be a key player, and I'm sure that he will reach a united government. And the whole question that bothers Netanyahu is if Netanyahu is the prime minister or not. And Lieberman is playing in this very narrow psychological chess game that he's saying to Netanyahu, well, I'm not sure that you will be the next prime minister of Israel, even within a rotation government.
Aaron, I agree that there is a very interesting chess game between these two, Netanyahu and Lieberman. I totally disagree about saying that Lieberman is right-wing. Lieberman is not right-wing. Lieberman is not left-wing. Lieberman doesn't have any core ideology that he stands for or that represents something that he wants other than playing political chess. In our democracy is very strong, but the political system is very fragile, and he plays it. He plays it well, but there is no ideology behind it.
So where did the ultra-Orthodox Jewish parties come in? Because Lieberman has gone from somewhat being aligned with them to being completely opposed to them. So how does that play into this then?
Yeah, so first of all, we must understand that he was very cooperative, or they were cooperative with him with regards to the mayorship of the city of Jerusalem, where they put their own candidate together as mayor, Mr. Moshe Leon. So I believe that even though it looks on the outside that they are opposing one another, I'm sure that they are still very good friends behind the scenes, and if they will need to cooperate again, that will be no problem.
Aaron, it's simply, very simple, that Avigdor Lieberman make himself in his decision that Prime Minister Netanyahu, we had enough. He will not be the next prime minister. He doesn't want to see him anymore as a prime minister, and is playing now the game of the ultra-Orthodox, the other games. But I think he got a strategic decision that Prime Minister Netanyahu will not be the next prime minister of Israel, according to Lieberman.
So, okay, so that brings us, to my next question, which is basically, Lieberman has been, there are rumors going around that he's trying a coup against Netanyahu. How is that playing out? Is that going to be successful in any way? Why right now?
No. A coup in the Likud party doesn't exist. In the whole history, we don't. It's not the guillotine or the French Revolution style.
Well, yeah, we don't have to take coup literally,
but saying that, I'm very disappointed from this letter of loyalty that every member of the Likud party had to sign today to show loyalty to the Prime Minister Netanyahu. In my opinion, Prime Minister Netanyahu doesn't need that. It's pathetic. We love him. We will vote for him. Sometimes he is playing to the hands of Lieberman, and we are making Lieberman much more powerful than he is in the reality.
Final comment? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, well, in my opinion, even though there are major forces that don't want to see Netanyahu as the next prime minister of Israel, I think that eventually it will settle down as Netanyahu, the next prime minister. With regards to this letter, well, I think it's an internal Likud issue. I don't think it will influence the whole campaign.
Well, it certainly says something. I think some people might draw
some
whatever inference
for nothing. Just panic.
All right. Well, it's anyone's guess. We'll find out. We'll find out in September. Zohar, Naphtali, thank you so much for coming in.
It's
today.
always nice to discuss inside the family.
Well, thank you for coming.
Thanks for.